Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving deep into a complex and rapidly evolving situation. The escalating tensions between Pakistan and Afghanistan. It's a story with deep historical roots, significant regional implications, and a very real human cost. To truly understand what's happening right now, we need to go back and look at the underlying causes that have been simmering for years. The relationship between these two neighboring countries has always been intricate, often strained by a mix of political, ethnic, and security concerns. A major historical point of contention is the Durand Line, the 2,670-kilometer border established in 1893 during the British colonial era. Afghanistan has never officially recognized this line as a permanent international border, viewing it as a colonial imposition that divides the Pashtun ethnic group. This long-standing dispute has fueled mistrust and created a persistent source of friction. Another critical factor is the issue of cross-border militancy. For decades, both sides have accused the other of harboring and supporting militant groups that carry out attacks across the border. Pakistan has long pointed to the presence of Tehrik-i-Taliban Pakistan, or TTP sanctuaries in Afghanistan. The TTP is a group responsible for numerous attacks within Pakistan. On the other hand, Kabul has consistently accused Islamabad of providing support and safe havens to the Afghan Taliban, which ultimately returned to power in August 2021. This cycle of accusations has created a deep-seated security dilemma, where actions taken by one side to enhance its security are perceived as a threat by the other, leading to a dangerous spiral of retaliation. The recent escalation didn't happen in a vacuum. It represents a boiling over of these long-standing issues. The catalyst for the latest crisis was a series of deadly attacks on Pakistani soil, which Islamabad attributed to militants operating from Afghanistan. Following these attacks, Pakistan's tone hardened significantly. High-level security meetings were held, and the government vowed to respond decisively to what it termed foreign-sponsored terrorism. This brings us to Pakistan's direct response. In a significant move, Pakistan launched airstrikes inside Afghan territory, specifically targeting what it claimed were TTP hideouts in the Paktika and Coast provinces. Pakistan's Ministry of Foreign Affairs stated that the action was a last resort, taken after Afghanistan's interim government failed to act against the militants despite repeated warnings and intelligence sharing. Islamabad framed the operation as a targeted counter-terrorism effort, emphasizing that it was directed against specific terrorist groups and not the Afghan state or its people. The official statement stressed Pakistan's respect for Afghanistan's sovereignty but also highlighted its own right to self-defense against terrorists, threats originating from across the border. This justification aimed to position Pakistan's actions as a necessary security measure rather than an act of aggression. As you can imagine, the reaction from Kabul was swift and severe. The Afghan interim government, led by the Taliban, vehemently condemned the airstrikes. Zabihullah Mujahid, the chief spokesman for the government, denounced the strikes as a reckless violation of Afghanistan's sovereignty and a clear act of aggression. He warned that such actions could lead to uncontrollable consequences and would seriously damage the relationship between the two countries. The Afghan Ministry of Defense reported that their border forces had retaliated by targeting Pakistani military posts along the border with heavy weaponry. The condemnation from Kabul was not just rhetorical, it was backed by a show of military force, signaling that they would not tolerate such incursions without a response. This immediate and forceful reaction from Afghanistan marked a dramatic and dangerous escalation in the conflict. The situation on the ground quickly intensified. Following the airstrikes and the retaliatory fire, tensions along the entire Durand Line spiked. Reports emerged of increased military deployments on both sides, with border crossings like Torkham and Chaman experiencing closures or heightened security checks. This standoff has created a highly volatile environment, where any small incident could potentially trigger a much larger confrontation. The international community is watching these developments with growing concern. The United Nations has called for maximum restraint from both sides, urging them to resolve their differences through dialogue. The Secretary General's office expressed deep worry about the potential for further escalation and the impact on regional stability. The United States, a key player in the region for decades, also weighed in. The State Department urged both Pakistan and Afghanistan to de-escalate and engage in direct talks, emphasizing the importance of preventing terrorist groups from using Afghan soil to threaten other countries. Other regional powers, including China and Iran, have also expressed their concerns. Beijing, which has significant economic and strategic interests in both countries, has offered to mediate, highlighting the need for a peaceful resolution to ensure the stability required for projects like the China-Pakistan Economic Corridor, or CPEC. The collective message from the international community is clear. A military conflict between Pakistan and Afghanistan would be disastrous for the region and must be avoided at all costs. To truly grasp the gravity of the situation, we need to look at the core issues that make this conflict so intractable. First, as we mentioned, is the unresolved border dispute over the Durand Line. This isn't just a line on a map. It's a symbol of historical grievances and a source of modern-day ethnic and political tension. Second is the challenge of counterterrorism. The porous nature of the border has made it a haven for various militant groups for decades. The inability or unwillingness of successive governments on both sides to completely eradicate these groups has created a persistent security threat that fuels mutual suspicion and retaliation. Third, there's the complex political dynamic. The return of the Taliban to power in Afghanistan has fundamentally altered the security landscape. While Pakistan had historical ties to the group, their relationship as a neighboring state and the ruling government is proving to be far more complicated than many anticipated, especially when it comes to controlling anti-Pakistan groups like the TTP. So, where do things stand right now? The situation remains incredibly tense and unpredictable. While the immediate, large-scale military exchanges may have subsided for now, the underlying issues are far from resolved. Both governments are engaged in a war of words, with diplomats and officials trading accusations. Border security remains on high alert, and the economic and social disruptions continue to affect people on both sides. The path forward is uncertain. Will diplomatic channels prevail? Perhaps with the help of international mediators? Or will we see another cycle of violence triggered by the next cross-border attack? The key to de-escalation lies in finding a sustainable solution to the problem of cross-border militancy, a solution that respects the sovereignty of both nations while addressing their legitimate security concerns. This requires building trust, which is currently in very short supply. It demands a genuine commitment to dialogue and a move away from the cycle of blame and retaliation. The stakes are incredibly high, not just for Pakistan and Afghanistan, but for the entire South and Central Asian region. The world is watching, hoping that wisdom and restraint will prevail over conflict. This is a developing story, and we'll be sure to keep you updated as things unfold. It's a reminder of how deeply intertwined history, politics, and security are in this part of the world. What are your thoughts on this complex situation? Let us know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and if you found this analysis helpful, please consider liking this video and subscribing to the channel for more deep dives into global affairs. Stay informed and stay safe.